Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, StayTrue TV. Now if you're with us in the last video, you would have seen we took the tree from over there, it's going to be in the way of where our new slab's getting laid, and we put it over in the back corner over there. So far so good, it's not lost its green, and it's been a couple of weeks now, so she's cruising along, fingers crossed she's taken to the ground, and she's going to start growing, but I guess time will tell for that. But as for now, we have got a concreter coming to give us a quote today, later on in the afternoon, tell us if he's going to be able to do our job or not, as our last concreters end up getting tied up with another job. Unfortunately, it does happen with these kind of jobs, and they couldn't manage to do our slab after all that. So we'll just keep on moving along. But what we're going to do in this video is we're going to come into here, because what we figured we could do is we're going to take care of these walls, just start putting some plasterboard and stuff off. We're not going to paint, because as soon as this slab's coming to get down, we're going to remove this window here. So we've got to get in touch with the builder. He's going to do whatever he needs to do to the walls, and we're going to remove this whole wall here out of the way so that the new slab can get laid and blended in with this floor here. So it should be super sweet, but we figured what we can do is start putting the insulation in. Got to set these cables. I did go to make a start on these, but I didn't do a very good job of reading the actual drawing. So they're actually way too high. They're going to be in the cupboards where they are. So what we're going to do is actually drop them down. And what my electrician did say to us was, instead of doing the wood like that, he said they're a bit of a pain, is to get these things here. And all they do is just clip on wherever you want it. And then you run your leads through it, cut your plasterboard around them, and everything's nice and easy, sweet to go. So in saying that, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead, take care of the cables, start working out where our plasterboard's going on, get some plasterboard, get some insulation, start putting these walls together. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so there you go, the first part of the challenge is done. We've got to run all the cables. So we've got our power point cable that comes from in the roof, comes down to the first section, loops over to our second power point there. So that's fantastic. And then over here we've got our isolator for our stove. Now originally I put it over there, but I was talking to the electrician and there's certain measurements from the stove top you've got to work out. It's got to be at least a minimal of 400. So we've come over to here to get it away that distance. So the stove top will be around this area. Then the isolator's over here. That way if you get a fire or something on the stove top, you can easily just go over, click off with the isolator, and that's sweet. And that's running off its own power supply. So we've got the cable that comes over here to the isolator from the cooktop. And then we've got the main power coming in, comes over. And because we had bored a hole over there, figured we'd just stick both to them. And then in the rafters, run it all the way to the power box. So we've got its own separate cable, runs up and straight over to the power box there. And the same with the oven. We've got our own oven here too. And that's going to go straight up and along, and that'll get connected to its own source in the power box too. So absolutely fantastic. That cable's a little bit thicker, so we went 6mm. Probably could have got away with 4mm, but we went to 6mm anyway, just for a decent size. And that way, if we ever want to change out later down the track to a bigger unit or something like that, we've got the power source there, ready to rock and roll. But as for now, what we're going to do, we've got our plasterboard all ready to rock and roll. So we know that's 1350 wide, and because we've got a bit of a hodgepodge, as they called it, wall here, it's all over the joint. So what we're going to do is every 1350 we're going to put a piece of wood in there, so when it comes up to the join, it's going to be a nice solid join. Then we'll just have to work out where we're screwing it all to everywhere else, and it should be absolutely fantastic. Fingers crossed. So in saying that, we're going to go ahead, cut some wood and start pinning these things up. On to the next one. Alright guys, so there you go, we've got that wall there done, this wall here done up to here, but we've got to stop for a minute because what I've done is when I've installed this door here, I've gone and done a little bit wrong. I actually need to pull it out about another 10 mil. So I'll pull it out 10 mil, and that way when the plasterboard goes in, it's going to sit nice and flush around this bit here instead of this being flush in there. And then when the plasterboard goes on here, it'll be actually sunk in. So we're going to just go ahead, pull that door out, pull it out 10 mil, then we can continue on with the rest of the plasterboard. Alright guys, so there you go, we've got a fair bit done yesterday before the sun started going down on us, and we decided to give it up for the day. As you can see, nice and flush around the door now, so it'll be perfect when you put the skirting on. It should sit around there nicely. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, take care of that last little section there, and then we're going to start coming around onto the brick there. And we're just going to go so far because the extension is going to be going through here, so once the slab is ready to go down, this wall here is going to be coming out, so we don't want to go too close to that. That's the same reason we've not actually done the kitchen before now as well, because we don't want to set up the kitchen and then have that wall getting destruction and then have damage to our kitchen. So we're just going to work down so far, so we've got a little bit more done, and then once that's done we can go ahead, start putting some plaster in and get it all sorted out. Just have this wall all ready for when, as soon as that extension's on, we can start putting our kitchen in. Saying that, let's get into it. Get some stuff done. Alright, so some of you might be questioning what the heck's going on here. So we come over here. What we're doing here is we've got to run a power lead down to the fridge. I started channeling with my new tool, which, by the way, works fantastic. Hardly any dust, really cool. But in saying that, I started channeling and then realised we're on a double brick wall, so I don't actually need to channel this, so we can actually run the cable in the back of the wall. So I just smashed a couple of holes out, one here for the power point for the fridge, and then we've got another one down here because what we're going to do is loop off of that one here, come up to here, and then my lovely wife decided what she wants is a power point on the side of the breakfast bench as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to channel a slot through the floor all the way over here to where the island bench is going to sit. So once that's all in, we can just run the cable through the conduit straight up, pin it, and then put a power point on the side of the bench. That way if she's using any of her machines and stuff on the island bench, she's got power there rather than running cables across the walkway and stuff like that. So really cool. So as you can see, we've went and just pinned out all the bench top space there, so we could work out roughly, because on the drawing it didn't tell you a distance between the two bench tops, so we've done about 1 metre space, which is really relevant for the area, so you're not too crowded and stuff like that, and there's plenty of room there. The island bench is there, and once the extension's on, there's plenty of room there for the lounge room as well, so it should be super sweet. And saying that, we're going to go ahead, grab that grinder out, grab our new tool with the dust extractor. We're going to cut that channel in there, knock it all out, put some conduit down there, probably have to mix up some water, chuck it over the top, and fingers crossed, we'll have ourselves a channel. We can get back on to putting the plasterboard up on that wall. Let's get into it. so there you go, we've got our channel in, we've just mortared it all in, so we've got conduit underneath there. So once we're done, we'll be able to just run the cable straight through, out that wall, and then we'll have the other one run down the wall, into there, join it up with the loop in the power point. Should be absolutely sweet. Now, this took a lot longer than I was expecting. The whole time I was thinking, how can I stop this from happening again? So if there's anyone out there that wants a mid-30s wife, good cook, just to take off my hands, I'm open to offers. We can even sweeten the deal. There's a couple of kids we can chuck in with us, if you can. I'm only joking. Do inbox me. Anyway, back to the video. Whoopsies. Alright guys, so there you go, we've gone ahead and we've finished up these walls in here. Looks a lot better than the old wood frame that we had in here, and it's been a long time coming, so finally taken care of it, all plastered up, so we'll let that set now. Didn't go too fantastic on the plaster, just kind of wiped it on and scraped it off so it's nice and smooth, because at the end of the day, once all the cupboards and stuff are up, there's not going to be a whole lot that we're going to have to end up sanding back anyway. And then the splashback, the tiles and stuff that go in here, it's going to cover most of it up. Maybe have a little bit up the top there and a little bit over here that we're going to have to take care of. But overall, should be pretty sweet. We've got all our cables run, we've got our pipes in, we've got our bit of conduit here going underneath the floor now. So when island benches in, we can have power to that. So it'll be absolutely fantastic. But we are going to call that a wrap for this video. We hope you're enjoying the content, and if you are enjoying it, please don't forget to hit that like button, set your notifications for upcoming videos. We do appreciate you taking your time to watch our videos. You can jump on Facebook and Instagram at StayTrue TV, get the inside scoop before YouTube. Hope to see you in the next video. Stay safe, we'll catch you next time.